baby boomers. I'm John France, author of the For the Love of Boomers book. And today I am very excited because our podcast is featuring a very special guest and a good friend, Diana Guhin Wooley. So good morning, Diana.
Good morning.
What a treat to have you with us today.
Well, the
So
treat is
fun.
all mine.
Super fun. Okay, well, here's the deal, guys. Diana and I have been friends since East High School in Sioux City, Iowa. We were in choir together, and Diana starred as the Dolly Gallagher Levi, turn of the century matchmaker and woman who arranges things in our 1971 production of Hello, Dolly. And she was fabulous. Since then, she went on to get her master's degree in music, vocal performance, and her bachelor's degree in theater. She has given me a recording, which she allows me to play, but we won't get to it today. We'll get to it in the next one. But now she is the executive director of the Lamb Theater and School located at Morningside College in Sioux City. She's taught in Sioux City Public Schools for 20 years, elementary vocal music, general music, choir and theater, talented and gifted schools, 8th grade English, and ended her career in the public schools as high school impact fine arts teacher and theater director. She has directed The Diary of Anne Frank, Fiddler on the Roof, Miserable, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and many other things. And she performs a soprano as a featured artist in the Sioux City Symphony, Pops Concert, Municipal Band, Annual Soloist, and many more. And if that were not enough, she has been named the Siouxland Woman of the Year. Wow. But very importantly, she is a wife, she's a mom, and she's a great friend of many. And she's perhaps one of the most positive and courageous people I've ever met. So welcome, Diana.
Wow, how do I follow all that? You
I
make
don't
me
know.
sound good.
You are good. I wonder if you wouldn't start by sharing with our viewers where you are when this picture was taken.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, the first one was just last spring. When I was on the Siouxland Women's Magazine cover. I was a cover girl, John.
Wow, no surprises there.
And then the next one is my husband, Russ Wooley, and me as we were in Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, a little dark musical, not like Hello, Dolly. And that was one of my favorite roles was that one. And then of course I love it when I get to play opposite my husband, or I love directing him also. So, because he's a very talented man. I married him.
What fun! That's great. I'm captured by this picture. I love your slippers. You know.
Yeah, aren't those cute?
In this, but what fun to do all this theater stuff. It's just I really think it must have had been a great time. The song that Diane has given us to play in our next podcast is Another Spring. Do you have anything you'd like to say about this song?
Well, I teamed up with a friend of mine, Richard Steinbach, and for almost 10 years we toured around the country. We did a lot of stuff in the middle of the United States, but also we went out east a bit, and as an American celebration duo. We only sang and performed music. I mean, he played piano, I sang, and we only performed music that was created by American composers that were still living. So I always joke that we really didn't need to put bios, the composers, in the program, because we could just put their phone numbers in and people could just give them a call. But that was a fun time. Yeah. And we did a couple of recordings of I guess you'd call them albums, but I don't know what you call them now.
Yeah. Well, what fun.
Yeah. It was.
Look, you were as bold in your work there as Farrah Fawcett is on the front cover of the book.
To look like Farrah Fawcett.
But that was a few years ago,
Mm.
and now we can kind of get down to our mission today, which is to live a bold and fearless life now and going forward. And so, now let me gain some of your perspectives on boomer aging, if we can, and
Okay.
adapting. So we'll kind of start with how has aging changed your life?
Well, the biggest thing is I don't feel any older until I look in the mirror. And then I go, oh my gosh, I am getting older. And I'm around young people all the time because I still do a lot of directing. In fact, this weekend I was with 40 kids all by myself directing a show, and felt just as young as they did until I look in the mirror or afterwards when my muscles start aching. And I go, okay, it is, I am getting older. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. But I really don't think about it a whole lot. I guess I've started thinking about it more now the older that I'm getting. You're right. There, yeah.
Yeah. Well, how has it changed your dreams? How
You
has
know what?
aging?
The 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 difficulty for me is my dreams have stayed the same. I still want to do more and more and more and more. The problem is physicality, my physicalness maybe is lacking a little, and I don't have the quite the same stamina that I used to have. So I've got to give myself grace and I'll know that I need to take time to rest and recover and think and be a little bit more smarter about how I spend my time physically.
Mhm.
Emotionally and mentally, I don't think I need the time so much, but physically
Mhm.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So the process you're using to sort of manage your dreams is just paying attention and listening to
Yeah.
your body
Listening to
and
absolutely listening to my body. Yeah. That's very true. I don't feel bad anymore that I take a nap. That does not bother
right.
me. It used to bother me. Now I just I let people know that no, I'm shut down for a couple hours here. So
Yeah, that's cool. I have to agree that
yeah.
napping is part of my everyday
Well, it
ritual and
recharges. I think it really recharges us. I don't. Do you remember napping when you were a kid? I mean,
not really.
I mean, not until I got, yeah. I would, when I was middle aged, I say, when I would finish teaching and before I would go to rehearsals, a lot of times I would take a nap just to kind of change gears. I remember doing that for like, 20, 30 minutes, and then I'd be ready to move on to the next activity. Now I have to do it different. I mean, it's different. It's like I have to recharge my battery.
Right, right. There's a saying that calls the nap is after the nap is a second morning.
Yeah, it is. That's a good point.
It,
I love that.
yeah, yeah, that's how I think of it because if I get my nap in, then I'm good to go for till I go to bed
Oh
at night.
yes.
I don't, I so it is a recharging of the
It
battery, and
is. Yeah.
I'm all over it. So Clint Eastwood, his famous saying about aging is "Don't let the old man in."
Uh-huh.
And I know I heard you tell me about what you're saying is about living with expectation. I'll let you finish that
Well,
sentence
well, um,
of plenty.
living in a yeah, living in a feeling of plenty, just an expectation of plenty, and so that I'm not on the negative side. I have discovered that I am a optimistic fatalist. I do think things are going to happen, but I know there's always another way to look at it. There's something that can be gained from the unfortunate, and so that kind of keeps me from uh, getting too far down and negative, because that's really hard to recover from
Right,
when you let
right,
yourself feel bad.
right. Yeah, it sounds like so. I love that living with an expectation of plenty and not scarcity. I
Yeah.
think that's I love that, and I'm going to remember that myself. I think that's great. So I can tell from your energy and everything that you have plenty of things that make you happy these days. Do you have anything that you struggle with?
Oh, a lot of it is I struggle trying to manage my expectations a little bit too. Because there's so much that I really thought I would be able to accomplish in my lifetime, and now I can kind of see that might not get all that way. So I've started doing something just recently where I start looking at certain individuals that are younger than I am and trying to insinuate one of my sparks into them, thinking that maybe through something that I say, some encouragement that I give them, some experience that I'm able to offer, that maybe they could complete what I was hoping to complete, because I don't have time for all of it, I don't think, which makes me sad. Yeah.
No, well, that's a really positive way to look at it. You're basically planting seeds in other people to carry on if you don't get there.
If I don't get there, yeah.
So it sounds like you have an awareness of mortality. Is there anything you'd like to add about how you think about it?
Well, John, when I had knee surgery, I've had both my knees replaced. The joints, not my knees, but and the second time I was in the hospital in a room there were two of us, and the nurses said, well, we'd like to give you a private room, which was great. That was wonderful. So the gal gave me a shot of Dilaudid or something like that. I went into the private room, and the nurse gave me another shot, which I wasn't paying attention. It was the same thing, whether it was Dilaudid. I'm not a medical person anyway, but I basically, when my husband came just about an hour later, there was a crash cart in the room. The room was full of doctors, and the chaplain was there, and he was terrified.
Oh, no.
And I remember I was totally out of it. I kind of remember things in passing. I remember that there was a bunch of things on my chest. And I remember thinking in my mind, going, if this is the end, I'm okay. And then I passed out. And the next morning, the chaplain was there when I woke up. He had stayed with me, and he said, I'm so thankful that you made it through.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I went, well, it was really that dramatic. And he said, yeah, your best friend was up here. She was feeding you, trying to feed you, or trying to encourage you to do something. I don't know why they'd be trying to feed me, but doing something. And he said, yeah, it was a little scary. So we're so glad that you're back with us. And I thought, after that, I don't fear death. I really don't. So it's now I fear not having enough time while I'm living. And that totally flipped everything on me. I've been around people, one of my very dearest friends who died when she was only 37. I was there when she died. And I remember saying it really was a beautiful experience. Mm-hmm. And it was something that I treasure, being with her during that time. But I always had a little fear about it. But after going through what I went through and knowing it, I don't know, it totally changed something, which I think is making me bolder, just knowing that I don't have a fear of dying.
You don't. Oh, that's how wonderful.
What a blessing. It was a blessing.
That is a blessing.
It was.
So how are your boomer friends doing? How are your friends doing that are your age?
I was thinking about what Jack was saying, and we do talk about physical things all the time. Which doctor we're going to, and what procedures we're looking forward to, or whatever. And we do spend a lot of time talking about the medical end of it. It is and makes my daughter laugh, and my friends' kids think, oh my gosh, here we're talking about medical stuff again. We do kind of get ourselves hung up on that, which is probably, I guess it's something that we all have in common. But I do go out with two gals almost every week for coffee, and it really does help. It really does help. Just talk through experiences, and one's having a little bit of trouble with hearing, and I have trouble sometimes understanding what people are talking about. I mean, there's we laugh a lot, and that's good.
That's that's awesome. I really think half of the reason I wrote this book and doing these podcasts is about community. I think you know aging is like my mom used to say, getting older isn't for sissies.
No.
That, and we really do need each other, and to understand our circumstances and what we're going through. One of the people that read my book said, this is great. We boomers have to stick together, is what was his comment. And I think, and I've had other people say things like, I love your optimism. I need another positive role voice,
Yeah.
around me. And that's really what we're trying to do here. And I think we are doing that, and I'll continue to do that. So, finally, what's on your bucket list? What is? Do you have a bucket list that's something on your mind that you want to get done?
Oh my goodness! Like the list. How long do you have? No, I have a yeah. I years ago I wrote a musical for adults, and it went over well, but I want to redo it. I want to rewrite it totally. I mean, that's something. And so, like you, I'm going to try to force myself into finding time just to write and do that sort of thing, which is hard to do when you're busy doing other things.
Other
too.
things.
Yeah, it's hard to figure. I'm not very good. I'm a little scattered that way. I love traveling. Russ and I went to Mexico for the last 2 summers, and just fell in love with the country. And I'm hoping to be there again. And I love new experiences, and I love working with young people. I think that's one of the things that's kept me younger than I might have been.
Right.
Is because I'm around young people all the time, and
Yeah, that's fun.
that does, yeah. So I've got a lot of young little friends all the way up through my age. So that's kind of fun, seeing life from lots of different perspectives. So I want to continue having experiences like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great. I'm blessed with a couple of grandchildren, and I enjoyed the time with them.
Oh yeah.
Um, Especially when they're in that 3-4 years old. I mean, they're just little angels walking around.
They are angels walking
They're
around.
so much fun.
They're so precious. Yes, absolutely.
They totally are. Well, this has been great. Thanks so much for
Oh,
joining
John,
us
thank
today.
you. This is so great. I just wish I could get one of your bear hugs.
Oh, well, one of these days we'll put that together.
Okay.
But I hope you'll come back, and we are going to play your song. And I kind of wind these things up by each of these sessions by saying, I guess the bottom line is, as always, we boomers all adapt to our world, and it changes all the time. And we boldly go on, not timidly go on. We boldly go on, just like Farrah Fawcett on the skateboard. And so we're going to keep in mind your advice: living with an expectation of plenty and not scarcity. And so until next time, remember to take good care of yourselves, and also remember it's your heart that takes you places.
Oh.
Is that right, Diana?
Oh, that's so right. I love that.
Okay. All right. So bye-bye. Until next time. Diana, you want to say goodbye? You say goodbye.
Yes. This was wonderful, John. Thank you so very much. This is great.
All right. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.